Hey, English heroes! Welcome back to Speak English with Fire, the podcast that helps you speak with confidence, clarity, and emotional power. I'm Emma, and today we're unlocking a superpower most English learners overlook: how to ask questions like native speakers.
And I'm David. Learning to ask questions isn't just about getting answers, it's about building real connections. When you use the right tone, timing, and style, people open up to you in ways you might never expect. Today, we'll show you how to make every question count.
Exactly, David. In English-speaking cultures, the way you ask is just as important as what you ask. It can show friendliness, curiosity, and respect. Or it can make you sound cold and mechanical if done wrong. Let's make sure you get it right.
Here's something interesting. Research from Harvard found that people who ask more open-ended questions are seen as more likable and emotionally intelligent. So, our goal is to help you ask questions that feel natural, warm, and impactful, just like native speakers do.
Let's start by breaking down the three main types of questions that really build conversation. First, there are casual connection questions, like, "How's your day going?" or "What have you been up to?" These are perfect for small talk and should be delivered with a genuine smile.
Right, Emma. Then there are curious follow-ups, which keep the conversation flowing. These are things like, "Really? Why's that?" Or, "Oh wow, how did you feel?" Your tone here should sound truly interested, making the other person feel heard.
And finally, we have deep dive questions. These are the ones that build trust and invite people to share more, such as, "What was the hardest part of that experience?" Or, "What do you really care about in your work?" Speak gently and give them space to answer.
So, by mixing casual, curious, and deep questions, you can transform any conversation from surface-level small talk into something meaningful. Remember, your delivery matters as much as the words themselves, so be mindful of your tone and timing.
Another secret to asking great questions is your tone of voice. Try saying, "What do you do?" in two different ways, once flat and once with a rising, softer tone. The difference is, huge one sounds like an interview, the other like a friendly chat.
Exactly. Native speakers often raise their pitch slightly at the end of a question to signal politeness or curiosity. For example, "Where are you from?" With a curious rise sounds warm, while a flat delivery can come off as cold or uninterested.
Timing is equally important. Don't jump in with your question before someone's finished speaking. That tiny pause after they talk shows respect and makes the conversation feel comfortable and not rushed.
And avoid rapid-fire questions like, "What do you do? Where are you from? How long have you been here?" That feels like a survey. Instead, ask one thoughtful question. Listen carefully, respond naturally, and then follow up.
Let's talk about styling your questions so they sound natural and engaging. Use softeners like, "I was wondering, do you mind if I ask?" Or, "Just curious." These make your questions feel less direct and more polite.
Adding empathy is powerful too. Try lines like, "That sounds tough, what happened next?" Or, "Oh wow, that's amazing, how did you do it?" Showing genuine interest encourages people to share more openly.
Don't forget linking words. Phrases such as, "By the way," "Speaking of that," or "That reminds me," help weave your questions smoothly into the conversation so it feels like a natural flow rather than a sudden change.
When you combine all these element softeners, empathy, and linking words, your questions become invitations, not interrogations. That's what sets native speakers apart and helps you build stronger connections in English.
Let's put it all together with a live example. Here's a mini conversation. David says, "I just got back from Japan." I respond, "Oh wow, that sounds exciting. Where did you go exactly?" David replies, "Mostly Tokyo and Kyoto." I say, "No way, I've always wanted to go to Kyoto. What was your favorite part?"
Notice the rhythm in that exchange? It starts with a warm reaction, moves to a curious question, shares a feeling, and then dives deeper. That's the pattern native speakers use to build real connection, one thoughtful question at a time.
So, to sum up, focus on connection, not interrogation. Use a warm tone instead of a flat one. Time your questions with patience and style them with empathy and genuine interest. These are the keys to making your English conversations shine.
Here's your action step. Today, start any English conversation with a warm question. Use your tone and give space for answers. Really listen. And if you enjoyed this episode, follow and share to help more learners gain confidence and connection.